Well, that felt like an escape for the Indiana Fever more than it did a win. And Caitlin Clark should probably be thanking Aliyah Boston right now, considering all the discourse around Clark, who didn't have a great game, and it would have been thrown in her face. But Aliyah Boston, who has struggled this season, stepped up big time, tying her career high 27 points, grabbing 13 rebounds. And as someone who's been critical of Aliyah Boston so far this year, it's only fair that I give her credit when she does come through. And she did some things a little differently in this game. First, she played with more energy, more speed, pace, deliberate movements, and energy. Her screens were even more compact and more forceful. But it was the force that she went up with. Like on this play right here, you could see Aliyah gets the ball on the block right there, puts a dribble down, gets to her spot, and then makes a quick, decisive turn and finish. And even when she did her little up fake that she likes to do, it was that and then a decisive finish. She missed a couple shots she could have made even in this game, but to me, it was just much more about not being tentative. She needs to be assertive and aggressive. And there were some good signs between Aliyah and Caitlin Clark, actually, in this game, too, that are worth noting. Caitlin did not play her best game, and I'll get into some of that in a second. But when you look at what she was able to do in unison with Aliyah Boston, I thought there were some better signs than we've seen from those two in the past. Better signs than we've seen from those two in the past. Like a couple in this game that really worked out that were sort of similar looking. There was this one here, as the Fever posted, where Caitlin has the ball, hard dribble to the right. You see Aliyah drifting there. Caitlin draws extra attention, as she tends to do. Beautiful little bounce pass into Aliyah Boston, who, guess what? Makes a strong move, goes right up, and finishes. That's one of them. And there were similar plays like that throughout the game needed. And that came through, where she found Aliyah on those little short rolls in the middle, and Aliyah finished strong. And Boston grabbed rebounds and everything as well. Like in the first half of this game, I thought the strategy was sound, which was to leverage all the defensive attention Caitlin gets and allow the other women to cook. I mean, Boston cooked, Kelsey Mitchell cooked in that first half. She really played well in that first half, got her scoring groove going. And then it was Boston who just carried them late, who took them home. Another example of what was different from Aliyah tonight. Like in this one, all right, she's got the defender on her. Defender goes down. She doesn't hesitate. She doesn't think or worry about the contact. She goes right up and finishes the play. I mean, that's would be my biggest feedback for her, is just that decisiveness, to keep that going, that assertiveness, keep that going. And if she can do that, all of a sudden, maybe things open up a little bit for Caitlin Clark. Maybe all of a sudden things open up again for Caitlin Clark. Because again, they had that two-man game going that I was hoping would show up for much of this year. Here's another example of that. You can see
trying to win this.
Caitlin again with the probing dribbles. Goes inside to Aliyah. Perfect feed. Aliyah goes right up. Now, from Clark's side of things, I thought she actually played better defensively in this game. There was a couple plays where she got manhandled, but for the most part, she held her ground. She had a nice strip on one play off the opponent's knee and got a defensive stop that way. Again, I thought she found Aliyah nicely there. She had the one absolutely gorgeous reverse layup, that I think most people are going to be talking about, like on the highlight packages for this one, that will be the one enduring highlight for Caitlin from this game. This play right here, a quick dribble attack, and the reverse on the other side of the rim. Oh, so pretty. So I thought they leveraged the defensive attention she gets really well in the first half. In the second half, it all kind of collapsed, and they were stuck in no man's land. Now, part of that is they get nothing from the wing. You know, I don't know what Christy Wallace brings to this team. She's basically given them nothing. She starts every game. Lexi Hull came in and hustled, but gave them nothing offensively. Samuelson hit a couple threes early in the game. But from that position, they're not getting much. They're not getting much. But Caitlin also, a couple things. She's dealing with being face guarded. So they need to keep running those actions to get her. They got to do stuff to get her freed up. And then she needs a little bit better of a whistle, I think, at times. There was one play where she drove hard to the right where I thought she could have got fouled. I thought there was a questionable travel that might have been an and one. And then the shooting. What was she, 1 of 6 from 3? You know, obviously she shoots the ball better from 3. Her overall stat line looks better. She needs to shoot the ball more. Even when she's not like wide open, because I feel like she's looking either for that 3 or to be able to take it all the way to the cup. And when she's in no man's land, she's kind of looking for a pass when she can just pull. I've said that all year. She's got to just pull. You got the defender on your hip, or you got them, you know, you got a little space in front of you, pull. And she needs to get selfish in that way a little bit as the season goes along. That would help them out. On the other side, you know, the Dreams stormed back mostly because of Ryan Howard, who was a killer with the threes in this game and was just taking no ish, right? Like she was going to get them back in that game one way or the other. So I suppose it's a relief that the Indiana Fever hang on. Their playoff hopes somehow are still alive. And it's a kind of escape moment because with all the noise, if Clark had had a bad game and they had blown that 18-point lead, it would have been nonstop from the Jackals. One other thing I noticed was Erica Wheeler really taking on a nice leadership, positive role for the team. You know, she was giving them inspirational speeches down the stretch. It looked like a team that was a little bit more together, let me say, in this game. It was a team that played with more energy, obviously, especially in that first half. But I think even overall, they looked a little bit better as a squad. And there are ways for them to get better as a whole. But it was just really good timing for Aliyah Boston to finally break out. And again, she just played so much with so much more energy, so much faster, so much more assertive. Maybe it did help that they went through her at the end of the last loss there when the game wasn't close and got her some rhythm. But they got to find that balance. They got to find that balance because they had Caitlin off the ball early, and then she was on the ball late. I think they got to get her in transition where she can thrive. They got to leverage that defensive attention like they did in the first half, and then they got to run some actions to free her up a little bit. But nevertheless, it's a good win for the Indiana Fever because there haven't been all that many of them.